what's up, guys? Look, now I know it doesn't seem like it, but I'm actually kind of really sick right now, and I don't feel very good. But you know what? I'm going to review this anyways, because I promised you guys I would, so here it is. I'm going to review, the sequel to the cult classic, Hatchet. Cult classic in my opinion. And that is Hatchet II. Okay, so before I highly suggest you guys to see my review for Hatchet before you see this one, because it would make more sense about what I'm going to say in this review that you might not get if you haven't seen the first one yet. So go ahead and watch my review of the first one first before you see this one. But yeah, so this review is on Hatchet 2, and it is, yeah. So Hatchet 2 came out in 2010, and you know what? I remember Hatchet 2 being in limited theaters. I remember it very first coming out in Best Buy, and the very first day I got it when it came out. The day when this came out, I ran to Best Buy and I got it. I just bought it right away, because I am a huge fan of the first one, if you have not yet noticed. So, I was so looking forward to Hatchet 2. Yeah, Hatchet 2, I've seen this movie, I think, even more than the first one. I've seen this movie so many times. Yeah, I've seen this more than the first one, definitely. Now, Hatchet 1 is all about, like, the fun and the gore and the entertainment. This one's more focused on, like, the story of Hatchet. And, I was very interested into seeing what that story was. And you know what? It gives a lot of detail of more into the story and legend of Victor Crowley. Now, this movie focuses more on Reverend Zombie, otherwise known as Tony Todd. I forget his real name, but no. Yeah, this one focuses more on Tony Todd's character, and Danielle Harris, who now plays as the girl. What's the chick's name? I keep forgetting her name in the movie. Mary Beth. That's her name, Mary Beth. She plays Mary Beth in this one. And, spoiler if you have not seen the first one, she's, the only survivor from the first one. She's the only one that escaped, so she's back at her hometown, and she's trying to bring down a bunch of, like, hunters to, like, hunt down Victor Crowley into the swamp. This one is so awesome. I do gotta admit, though, this one focuses less on, like, the whole blood and gore and stuff. This one focuses more on, like, actual, like, dialogue and story and character. But, which I do like. I mean, you know, he's trying to do something new with this one, but, still, it's still a very graphic movie. It's filled with so many clever and just gruesome kills. Look at that. There is a scene where he has his giant-ass chainsaw. I don't know if you can see that. It's right there. He has a giant-ass chainsaw, and you need to watch it for yourself. So in this one, Mary Beth is the only survivor of the first one. She goes home, and she meets with Reverend Zombie, who also appears to know about the legend of Victor Crowley, because he was the one who ran the boat tour. But yeah, I mean, he's like the manager. He wasn't actually at the boat. But yeah. So this is more focused on Mary Beth and Reverend Zombie trying to capture Victor Crowley. Now, Reverend Zombie goes into much more detail about the legend of Victor Crowley, and he starts telling her about, like, how he was very first born and all that. Now, what happened was, Victor Crowley's dad, who still plays Kane Hodder in this one, his mother was ill, or his wife, I'm gonna say his wife was ill. She's super sick, she's super ill, and, you know, a nurse comes to their house every now and then to, like, check on her, give her medicine, whatever. But, Kane Hodder's father has an affair with the nurse because his wife is very ill, and, you know. So, what happened was, you know, they're having an affair, and then this part was really creepy, and I think was very strange, but his ill wife, like, comes up, her face is, like, all weird looking, she has, like, dark beady eyes, and she puts a curse on the nurse's baby, who is Kane Hodder's baby, and, you know, she puts a curse on her. That is why Victor Crowley is super deformed and deranged today. That is why he looks like that, because the very ill wife put a curse on the nurse's baby, creating, that. But it's still a very interesting story. And what you actually learn is that, remember in the first one I was telling you about how the kids set the fireworks on the porch, causing Victor Crowley to die that night? There was 3 kids who set off the fireworks, and one of those kids was Mary Beth's father, who got killed in the swamp in the opening sequence of the first one. So it's just getting into more and more detail with the story about why Victor Crowley was after her the most, because her father was one of the kids who killed Victor Crowley in that burning cabin, and it actually turns out that, wait, what was it? Crap. I think the 3 kids were her father, her uncle, who was also in this movie, and somebody else. I can't remember who else. I think it was the other guy with her father in the opening sequence of the first one. But I'm not too sure. But the point is that, what Reverend Zombie believes, he believes that because, the 2 kids that killed Victor Crowley are dead. So, and her uncle, who was still alive, is the only one left, one of the only kids left that, burned him or killed him. So what he thinks is that if Victor Crowley kills the uncle, who was one of the kids that killed him, maybe Victor Crowley would, finally rest in peace, because the reason why he was going in such a rampage was because he wanted to find the killers or the kids who killed him. So, it's again, I can tell you all day about what happens in this one, but the point is, this one is much more like story detail. Still, the kills are super graphic and just awesome in this one. I think in this one, Adam Green focuses more on like comedy, dark humor, more than the first one. The first one was pretty damn funny still, but I think this one he focuses more on like the humor, because this one's actually like kind of funny. Now, of course, none of the intense action scenes happen until the very, end of the last half hour of the movie, because the first hour is more of, getting into, detail with the characters and the story and the plot and whatnot, but, still, it's a great movie. This movie plays on Cinemax, I believe. Yeah, it plays on Cinemax. Almost every freaking day I see this movie playing on Cinemax, so if you want to watch this movie, it's probably on Cinemax. So, yeah, definitely check this one out. But please check out the first one before you see this one, because you are not going to get this one if you haven't seen the first one. And this one, in my opinion, is a little bit better than this one, but I still really do like this one, and this one's pretty good, and I don't know why I keep doing this. Look, the point is they're both very awesome movies. Okay, these are super awesome movies. So, the Hatchet franchise, alright, I need to tell you about this. They are making Hatchet 3. 3! Now, what kind of sucks about Hatchet 3 is Adam Green is not directing Hatchet 3. In fact, he is only producing the film. So, one of his cameramen for the first 2 movies is directing it, but he's just a producer, but I still really want to see how it goes. They were just at San Diego Comic-Con, last year, I believe. Last year. They had, this big old panel about Hatchet 3 and how it's the most dark, disturbing, most gruesome, graphic Hatchet movie yet. And it is said to be the final of the franchise, but I am definitely looking forward to Hatchet 3, which should come out, I believe, in spring, summer, fall. I think it's fall. Yeah, it's fall. But I'm so looking forward to it. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna buy that. But as for the second one, still, it's not as great as the first one. I think the first one had a little more better, the first one affected me a little bit more, This one was still really good, however. I still really enjoyed this one. It did have a few flaws here and there, but I'm still gonna go ahead and give this movie a 5 out of 5 star rating. It's so great. The Hatchet film's definitely one of the best, slasher killer franchise I've ever seen in my life. This over Chrome Skull, Leslie Vernon, all that, recent slasher stuff. I think Victor Crowley is my favorite. So, if you have not seen Hatchet or Hatchet 2, please, I beg of you, go watch them. You will not be disappointed, especially if you're a fan of, like, cheesy 70s, 80s slasher flicks, because these two definitely have, like, an effect on that, and that's what he kind of, like, really focuses on in these movies, so I highly suggest you guys to go check this movie out. But, yeah, that's it for Hatchet and Hatchet 2. This review's on Hatchet 2, so, yeah, please check those out. And I promised you guys I was going to wear my Hatchet shirt throughout this review. I forgot to wear it throughout my first review, but I did wear it at the end. But, so yeah, I'm wearing it. Look at it. I want to take one last look at it, see how beautiful it is. I believe this shirt is out of print now, so I'm really glad to have it. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Please do not forget to subscribe. Please leave a comment down below on what movie I should review next, and I will see you guys later.